Up next, our next comedian has challenged herself not to talk about herself. Make some noise now for Andrea Menchaca.
That's right. I immediately realized I made a mistake. Like, I start every sentence with I. That's not possible. Should I just. I don't want to see. Uh, let's, just, let's just talk about Nick. You guys really his parents? Okay, I couldn't tell because you just seem like the kind of guy who'd just be like, sorry, mom, like anybody. And he sent that to me, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I think crowd work is hard for you because you don't care about other people, I'm sorry to say. You were like, how do you guys know? I don't care, I already don't care. Like, don't tell me. Let's talk about the Olympics. You brought that up, and you know what? This is a really good topic. You got ignored. That was wrong. I am sorry to say, the couple ice skating is not a sport, and I love it. I have always loved ice skating. I used to ice skate as a child. It is beautiful, but it is not a sport. Did you see what happened with that American couple that got wronged, and then the French couple got in? And the American couple has been ice skating at the professional, like Olympic level for many years. They met each other ice skating, and then they fell in love and got married, and they're super in sync, and they put in these beautiful performances where, like, you can tell that they fuck. And that's not something you should need to know about a sport, you know? Like, if you see curling, like, that's a sport. They do not fuck. Not just each other, but, like, anybody. They get no action whatsoever. But that's a sport. They're like, there's numbers, there's circles, the thing falls in the thing, and you're like, either you get it or you didn't get it. It's not like because one guy said that you don't get it because that's art. Yeah, I think we can be like, oh, comedy is a sport now. You guys tell me how I'm doing. But they do actually do competitions for comedy, and it always goes wrong for that reason. If we could measure laughter, then that would be different. But God, please don't invent that. That would be terrible. I had a terrible nightmare that we had a manatee for a pet because I saw in the news that there was a manatee stuck in the sewer. Did you guys see this? Why am I on the internet so much? There was this manatee, and it was stuck in the sewer. It was like, how did it get in there, first of all? And then they had to get it out, and then they took it to SeaWorld. It was the first and only instance in which an animal was put in SeaWorld, and they were like, this is actually all right. Like, I like it here. This is better than the sewer, I think is what the Yelp reviews always called. What's it called, SeaWorld? Have you guys, anybody ever been to SeaWorld? No, you guys are like good Portland people. Years, like before it was illegal. Yeah, no, for sure. You were a child. It's not your fault. I have definitely been there as well, and I don't remember it being as wild. But yeah, they had giant fucking whales in like little cups of water. It was crazy. It felt normal at the time. Yeah, not talking about myself is really harsh. I was talking about my kid. I don't know. I have never lived vicariously through her until right now. This is the shell that breaks me, and I'm just like, let's talk about her. What's her life about? I don't know. Let me call her real quick. Do we have parents in here besides Nick's parents, obviously, which I know they have been dealt a very difficult card, which we're not gonna count it. Do you guys have kids? What age? Oh, I'm sorry, you told him, but I wasn't listening. Okay, you guys look younger than that. I'm sorry, I thought you were gonna say younger. That doesn't count. We're not gonna count that. That's a long time from now. I have a 12-year-old. His name is Leo, and he's a beautiful golden retriever. No. I also have a human daughter. She comes second place, and it's fine. Fine. My stretch last month was not drinking, but I talked about myself all I wanted, so that was nice. Now I'm switching those two up. Christmas was kind of hard because I have an 8. My daughter's 8. My human daughter is 8, and that's an awkward age to be when it comes to Santa Claus. Like, some of her friends believe, some of them don't believe. She still does, and I love that for her. I hope that it stays a little bit, like at least one more year. I really like that she still believes, but at the same time, like, she's asking Santa for makeup, so it's like, I guess I'm just okay with some old white guy bringing her makeup. Like, that's the precedent that I'm setting. But then the day after Christmas, on December 26th, she told me that next year for Christmas, she's asking Santa for boobs. And I was like, Santa's not real. Sorry, that's that's it. I've drawn the line. I don't know how much longer I can put up with this. Also, like, I don't know if you know about anything about genetics, but like, if I don't have boobs, you're never gonna have boobs. Like, I'm sorry, but sure, let's just both ask for matching pairs. I did bring my daughter to a comedy show last month, and somebody was there doing like a skit about the Real Housewife of New Jersey or something, and they had like giant pair of fake boobs on, like this plate, and we get there, and my daughter's like, "See, you can order boobs online." You made it sound like it was impossible. Such a bummer that I am. I am from Mexico. Sorry to talk about myself. Very self-involved. I'm just like really proud of that. I know it's very brave of me to say. Can I talk about ice for a minute? Can we do that? Can we handle it? Okay. This is actually like a huge difference. You guys have no idea. I've been doing comedy for years, talking about ice, and it used to be the crowds. I would say, "Can we talk about ice?" And they were like, "I'd rather not." Now they're like, "Fuck ice! I got 2 guns on me right now. Pew pew!" Like, you guys are aggressive all of a sudden. I appreciate it. It's a lot of progress, honestly. Like, now I'm just serious. Now I'm just very proud of you. I'm just being very serious. It used to be just a few months ago I couldn't bring them up on stage. Like, not like bring them up on stage, but like, can you imagine? Come on in, you sons of bitches. Now, your uniforms, why are none of them the same? Do we not know what the word uniform means? I know it's a small hair to split, but it bothers me. How am I supposed to take you guys seriously when you all look different? Not a single set of shorts to match. They do wear shorts. There's like a bunch of elementary age kids out here with guns. I don't know what we're gonna do about ice. It used to be, and other countries don't have border patrol inside of the country for a reason. And that's because it objectively sucks, right? That's like seeing the bouncer in the dance floor. No one's like, "Ooh, fun." No, it's like, "We gotta go. Like, it's over. This party is over." I'm so sorry you guys have nowhere to go. I really feel bad about that. I can go to Mexico whenever. I can just go back home. A few months ago, too, in the news, and one of the many things that Trump thought that he could do, this is gonna be like when kids go to school. There's gonna be a book named things Trump thought that he could do. It's just like a thick ass book, and they're like, "Oh, do we have to learn all this?" Yes, that's how it happens. Dumb people do dumb shit, and now we all have to learn new rules. That's how it works. One of the things that he thought he could do was if people who have dual citizenship in the United States, which I do, just putting that out there, just in case. I have that. If you have dual citizenship, you have to renounce your other citizenship if you want to stay in the United States. Which makes me realize that he does not know how Mexico works, because I could just show up to Mexico any day and they'd be like, "Get in here." They'd never be like, "Oh, well, you renounced it, so." The only other country that does that is Germany. Yeah. Awkward silence. And it's still because of racism, if you were wondering. I don't know if you want a history lesson on that. I actually didn't know that until recently, because I have a really good friend of mine is German, and she told me that the reason why they do that is because the citizenship and the like being German is blood related, not marriage. You could never marry because your blood's still not German, and that's a little awkward, you know. They're like, we learned, but also we want to see you guys marry each other only. Not creepy. Did you guys see the alternative halftime show? No. Alternative? The only time alternative is like whiter. So alternative. I think the people who are interested in watching the alternative halftime show are the same kind of people that are the same kind of racist white people that are worried that in the future there won't be enough white people. This is a real concern that people have. They're like, people are going to be so mixed in the future, there won't be enough white people. Which is not really something that we need to worry about because white people will always live in our hearts. It's really beautiful. I want to tell you one last. Turns out not talking about myself means I just tell you what's going on in the news. Just like my feed on Instagram is what I'm telling you right now. That's gonna be the last thing I tell you that's on my phone. Recently, another thing that Trump did, this one's one for the one book that I'm making. People are worried about the way that his hands and feet and neck and face and hair and eyes and just like kind of like the whole thing, like the way he looks. They're like, you're a little wonky. What's up with that? Like medically speaking, you know. Not to be rude. They actually asked his physician, and they came back with a statement that said, and he quoted, Donald Trump said he, quote, has an aspirin every day because he wants nice thin blood going through his veins. Inside the quote, he also said, you know, like, you already know that we don't know. That's why you just tack that in there real quick. So that's what he wants. He wants nice. This is the worst advertisement for aspirin ever. They're like, we do not have anything to do with this, actually. Like, that guy is wonky looking all on his own. You want nice, thin blood. That's what he wants. Thin blood, thin hair, thin skin, fat ankles. That's what he's going for. Move over, Kardashians. There's a new unattainable body standard in town. I think you guys can do it. You can achieve it too. Just have an aspirin every day, I guess. Thank you. That's my time.